However, the proactive teacher uses the law of least intervention, a way of managing minor classroom disruptions without giving them a lot of attention.
All that means is we want to use the least amount of interruption to the classroom environment, the least amount of negative feeling tone, so that we don't destroy the learning environment for the majority of the kids in our classroom.
I even gave you the red one.
Julie Kent treats a student with respect when he's having a bad day. She patiently waits for him to rejoin the class.
All of a sudden, a baby kangaroo jumped out of its mother's pouch.
How does she diffuse the situation? Now watch what he does on his own. Now he's wandering, but watch what he does in his wanders.
We have 3.
Take away?
Is it takeaway?
No, plus.
Plus. Okay, thank you. Would you like to use the markers on this board?
Notice how her voice goes down. The other kids aren't even aware of her conversation with him. He picked the teacher's board. This is called choose your battles. Had she not made these choices, what would be happening?
A potentially difficult situation is diffused. The boy works his way back into the mainstream of the class and even contributes by helping other students put their mathematics manipulatives away.
He was still a part of the class, which I think is extremely important, because the last thing I want to do is remove them and not have them learning with the rest of us. That's the way I try to handle most situations with the children, because we do have times when they're explosive or when they're unhappy, and to quietly work with them and give them choices makes them feel better about themselves, where they are and what they're doing.
The law of least intervention incorporates management strategies such as the use of physical presence, automatic scanning, cueing, and avoiding power struggles. A quick way of quieting problems before they happen is showing a physical presence. In the same way that adults check to make sure that they are obeying traffic laws when an officer is nearby, students tend to pay attention when an adult is present.
The physical presence of the authority figure is likely to even stop a note being passed. Not 100%. But one of the first things I ask you to do is to study your seating arrangement. Can you get out and among the students quickly?
Automatic scanning keeps students mindful that the teacher is watching.
Automatic scanners mean while you are teaching, your eyes are constantly scanning the class to spot misbehavior at the very beginning. You see, the first inkling of it might be somebody nudging somebody else or taking their paper. If you don't catch it right then, when I take my neighbor's paper, then it's going to escalate and you can't use something simple.
3/3 of table 1 are on task.
Laura Dunstan scans her classroom carefully while giving class-wide instructions.
Remember, you need to pace yourself to attempt to get this done in 15 minutes. If you work too fast, double check your work. If you tend to work a little slow, your goal is to speed up.
The law of least intervention prescribes that problems be addressed quickly and, if possible, quietly.
If I say to all of you, take out your book and turn to page 89, and here's, Kimberly, who doesn't take her book out, do I stop and say in front of all of you, you all have page 89, you're ready for the directions, Kimberly, where's that book and why haven't you taken it out? Yes or no? No, because I have all of the rest of my classes with me. They're ready for the directions. I will see her privately because my job is not to take your learning time away from you.
When are you going to finish your part?
And times.
Okay, what about recess? Will I see you there?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
As an actor takes his cue from other actors, when a teacher takes his or her cue that parts of the classroom are becoming disruptive, he or she is cueing into the need for a change.
Cueing means find something else for the rest of the class to do. It might be, I need Delana back on task. I say to myself, all right, this is a good time for you to process.
The law of least intervention can also mean avoiding power struggles, diffusing potentially explosive situations, such as the kind of talking back that leads to an outburst.
I've learned that children will create power struggles. And as soon as you buy into that power struggle, you've lost. Because the child always wins, whether they have to have a tantrum or in some way prove that they've won.
So our first goal, if we're going to maintain that positive feeling tone in the classroom, is not to get hooked, because they will reel us in. And who invariably wins a power struggle? They do.
As teachers gain experience, they learn ways of avoiding power struggles, such as through the use of humor.
Will you use humor directed at yourself? It has to be true humor, not bordering on sarcasm. And it has to fit your personality.
Some teachers use the hit and run, where a quick, non-offensive reply is given to a student's minor offense.
Here's what one of our teachers did. Somebody did say that you are really the worst teacher in this building. And she used a method is called hit and run. And remember, usually this is while I'm working with the student. You mean I came in number 1 and she's gone, out of here. Sometimes that takes the wind out of their sails, and they are sitting there trying to process it. And the reason it's called hit and run is because before they even think of a response, where are you? You're gone, and you're up there working with someone else.
Teachers can avoid a power struggle by making an appointment for later discussion. The use of readily available appointment slips facilitates this power struggle intervention.
I have so many teachers who are using them. You are going to teach your class what the appointment slip is all about. It says something like, we need to talk. Would you prefer right after class, lunch, and you have to set up the times when you would be able to talk. And then on the appointment slip you may ask, please explain to me now in writing why this happened. Okay?
In using a tool such as the appointment slip, the idea is to avoid the power struggle by addressing it quietly, without an audience. However, there are times when removal of the misbehaving student is necessary. A solution room or timeout location makes this possible.
This is a place where they can go where it's timeout, but it's not punitive per se. For instance, how many of you know that when you're angry at somebody, you need to get away while you calm down? Our kids do too. They're not any different. They're human beings.
A solution room or space is a place where the upset student can calm down and process their problem, looking for possible solutions.
You'll hear music playing for you because it does help reach calm. What we know about anger management is we need to distract them to get their mind off of it first.
Using proactive classroom management will help students stay focused on the learning and bring success to the new teacher. Like a beginning pilot ready to fly, a new teacher has a wholly unique and exciting time ahead of them. By being prepared to teach proactively, by bonding and connecting with students, giving them self-worth and a sense of belonging to the community, by actively involving students in the learning, teachers have a direct influence and a lasting impact on those students, propelling themselves to the heights of a successful and rewarding career.